with, this is Angela. The channel is Be Fabulous You. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulites. I have got questions for you. What opens with Daddy Jack sleeping and waking up? And what closes with Mama Becca laying with the children sleeping, but she's wide awake? If you guessed This Is Us, last night's episode, I'm not quite sure what it is, but the one that aired after the Super Bowl, I'll add it to the title momentarily. Like after I load up the live and everything, and then after it's loaded up, I can edit it. And I'll look it up, and that's what I'm going to do. Then you're correct, and thank you so much for clicking on the video and sticking around to see how we get from opening to closing. Again, I'm Angela, and the channel is Be Fabulous You, and we are working on 1,000. We're working on 1,000. This is a big old shirt. We working on 1,000. Are you one of our first 1,000 subscribers? Are you a charter subscriber? Yay! Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Welcome, newcomers. If you're not a charter subscriber, consider subscribing. I do reviews. Most of them these days are reality reviews, but it's just whatever that I watch is first in line that I feel like reviewing. So it varies from time to time. But right now, I got a bunch of reality shows going. I think I have 2 non-reality shows going, but check out the rest of the channel. Let us proceed. Okay, so we see Daddy Jack sleeping. He's waking up. He's opening his eyes. He's drinking water. He kind of looks like something is wrong. And then he sees smoke coming in over the top of the door. Because remember the last time when we left them, the fire was going. He opens the door. It's a raving inferno outside. And he's like, Rebecca, wake up. The house is on fire. And then he calls the kids, Randall, Kate, Kev. And Kate, Daddy, Daddy. And she opens the door. Jack is like, close the door. I'll be right over there. And then Jack says to Becca, where's Kev? He didn't answer or whatever. And Becca's like, Kev slept over at his friend's house. He did. He's over at his friend's house. And then Jack says to Rebecca, wet every towel. And then Jack goes to Randall, stay low. You got your shoes on? Okay, let's go. And then he takes them into his room. And he tells Randall, you know, man to man, this is serious. The towel goes on the door. As soon as the door closes and you take your mother out of that window, and if she doesn't want to go, you drag her. Hey, we're doing a recap. You drag her out. And Randall was like, Dad. And Daddy Jack is like, I love you, but I gotta go because the house is on fire and we got to keep it moving, bruh. And so Rebecca is like, Jack, I love you. And then Jack is like, Katie, I'm coming for you. And then he goes to Katie's room and she is freaking out. We could immediately, I mean, it's a stressful, freaked out type of situation, but she freaking out. So he's like, we're just going across the hall. It's low. Oh, it's lower for us to jump out the window. And then okay, it's lower for us to jump out the window. And then when the door opens, Katie is screaming. She's like, no, like, because it's a bunch of fire out there. And then Daddy Jack, he goes back in goes back in her room, and he pulls the sheets and the linen off of her bed, and then he picks up the mattress, and she gets behind him, and he uses the mattress between him and the fire so she can't see it and they can't feel it, and it's a barrier. And then he has to abandon the mattress at some point because, you know, it's on fire. But they make it to his room, to the parents' room. So everybody is there. They've made a sling kind of thing out of the sheets. And then Jack is like, Randall, you first. Go. You got it? Okay, Kate. And then Becca. I don't know who went first, Kate or Becca or Kate. And then they're all on the ground except for Jack. And then just as Jack is about to come from the house, we hear the dog bark. Ruff, ruff. Bella, this is when you could be barking for sound effects. And then Katie is like, no! Calling the dog's name. I don't know what the dog's name is. And then she's crying. She's near her circle. Oh, please, please, please. And Becca's like, no, come on. She's talking to Jack. And Jack is like, I think I can get him. Get back away from the house. And Rebecca's like, no, get down here. And then Jack goes back in. And then they're all screaming and crying as they're watching the house burn down. And it keeps burning and keeps burning. And Randall has to hold Rebecca back at one point because she's going in after him into the fire. And then the three are holding each other. Oh, he died in the fire. And I'm like, I don't think he died in the fire. I'm like, is the dog gonna come out? What's going, But and then we hear the dog barking, and then the front door opens, and then out comes Jack with the dog in a pillowcase of stuff. And then the family sees that Kev has then the family, sans Kev, without Kev, has no house. And then we see the family as the house blazes in the background. That's what I was trying to say. And then we see the fire folks hosing the fire, and ambulances on the scene. There are fire trucks. The paramedic is with Jack. And I think she's like, this is second degree. We can treat it here. We can't. I think she said, we can't treat this here. You need to go to the hospital and get your vitals checked. You took in a lot of smoke. And then Jack is like, I got the important stuff. And when Becca asked him what's in the pillowcase, and then Randall and Kate walk up, and Katie is like, I called Sophie's house, and her mom woke up and she says they snuck out to a party. And Becca is like, I will kill Kev. And then Jack is like, he's hacking. And Rebecca is like, okay, Superman, I'm going to drop you kids off at Miguel's, and I'm taking you to the hospital. We'll figure out a plan from there. And then to the kids, it's just a house. It's just a house. And then Kate is like, what's that? And then Rebecca's like, your father got this, referring to the things in the pillowcase. And then Kate is like, oh, Dad, thank you. She's looking through some of the stuff. It's something to lose all of your stuff in a fire, or most of your stuff in a fire. That's something. Then we see a 37-year-old Kate, and we hear Super Bowl-y type football talk on the TV. And then she presses the remote, and then we see Daddy Jack and Teen Katie on the screen. And it's the tape recording that he made for her audition tape when she didn't know she was being videotaped by him. She was just audio taping. And then Toby comes into the room with Kate, and Kate is holding the dog, and Toby scratches the dog. Audio, radio, whatever. And then Toby is like, well, you've been watching this for a while. You want to take a breather? And Kate is like, this is what I do on Super Bowl Sunday. This is the 20th anniversary of my father's death. This is catharsis. And then Toby is like, okay, I'll let you cathart. That's a pretty song. You wrote it? Well, how come I never hear you sing it? And Kate is like, because this is the day that my house burned down and my father died. And then Toby leaves the room, and then we hear a scraping nose. And then Kate is like, Toby, what is this noise coming from the VCR? And then Toby sues Kate, and Kate is freaking out. And she's like, this is the only one I have. This is the only one I have. Okay, so then we see 37-year-old Kev. He's eating in the kitchen. He like, where's Miguel? And Mama Rebecca is like, oh, he's out running errands, and he's going to watch the game with some friends. He usually gives me space today. What do you normally do on the Super Bowl? And then Kev is like, honestly, well, typically I get blackout drunk and try to sleep with the hottest model who will have me. What about you? And Mama Rebecca is like, the same. I'm not going to tell you what I really do, because then you make fun of me. And Kev is like, fun of you? Fun of you? I'm a 37-year-old former sitcom star living with his mom in New Jersey post-rehab. I've lost the high ground for making fun of anyone. And then Mama Rebecca is like, well, usually I go to the grocery store and I buy ingredients for your dad's favorite lasagna, and then I make it and I eat it and I watch the Super Bowl. I watch the game. And Kev is like, that is intensely sad. And then Kate is like, nope, because every year your dad makes me laugh. Somehow, maybe I see what I just need to see or hear what I need to hear, but every year your father makes me laugh. So you want to join me? And Kev is like, no, I'm going to try to be the only family member who's not sad today. And then Rebecca is like, you're not the only one. And then cut to Randall. The music is, going, blasting. And he's finishing up a party tray, a Super Bowl party tray. And Beth is like, I I don't know why we are having a Super Bowl party for 20 little girls who are not into football. We got so much going on with the businesses. Plus, we could be called up as foster parents at any time. And, you know, Randall was like, because I want the girls to love this day. Kate wallows, Kevin avoids, but this is my dad's favorite day, so I celebrate. That's how Randall rolls. And then Beth is like, oh, so third person Randall is coming to the party? And Randall is like, yup, he got here early. And Beth is like, I think this 20-year anniversary of your dad's death is a little more emotional and then enter Tess and Annie's holding a little lizard in her hand. She's like, Daddy, I think Mr. McGiggle smiled. And Randall is like, that's because it's the Super Bowl, sweetie. He's all happy. And then Beth is like, let's put Mr. McGiggles back in his cage. Remember the store said he had to get acclimated? And hang up that phone. I don't know who always playing with the phone. Why is it always off the hook? And then Tessa's like, why do we even have a landline? No one even calls on it. No one uses a landline anymore. And why are we having a Super Bowl party? Our friends only like the halftime show. And then Randall is like, Annie, put Mr. McGiggles up. Miss McFrowny, he says to Tessa, put some clothes on. It's the Super Bowl. Whoop, whoop. Go, 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 go. And then after the kids leave, he's like, we need some boys in this house. And then we flash to the little boy that we saw before the mid-season break, right? And with the young black woman social worker type, and she's like, how's the group home? I hear the girls love you, Jordan. And then Jordan is like, it's too loud. And then grown Tessa looking social worker, who is Tessa, is like, I think we found you a foster family. And we see 37-year-old Kev. He's at his mom's place and he's like playing with a ball, avoiding looking at the wine. And then he's looking in a box and he finds a handmade card from the three of them, the triplets, and he remembers him and his siblings giving it to Daddy Jack, and then he pulls out an AA type recovery chip, and then we're back to 37-year-old Randall, and he's trying to get the party into watching the pregame. Come on, y'all, this is the pregame show. This is how we learn what's gonna happen at this show or whatever. And Beth is like with embarrassment. She tells one of the moms, his dad died on Super Bowl Sunday, so and then Annie is like, Dad! Mr. McGiggles is gone! He's crawling around somewhere! And then all the people, the little girls in the party start screaming and yelling, ah! And then Randall, calm down. And then the phone rings. Beth is like, I'm going to go to the kitchen and get that, and I'm never coming back. And then Tess follows Beth to listen to the short conversation with a magazine that she used to subscribe to. She like, stop calling me. And then Beth stops short after we hear a squishy sound. She calls Randall. She's like, I found Mr. McGiggles in the kitchen. And Randall is like, great. And Beth is like, he's not giggling now. He's not giggling or breathing. And Randall was like, boo, hi. And then Becca and Daddy Jack, and there we see them in the emergency room. And Doc is like, you want to apply this cream every 12 hours. You took in a lot of smoke. I'm waiting for your heart rate to come down. But you got a lot of soot in your airways, but the swelling is minor. And Beth is like, he went back in for the dog. And then the doc is like, you must love that dog. And then Daddy Jack is like, I love the girl that loves that dog. Oh. And then the doctor is like, okay, well, I'll see you shortly. And then Becca and Jack, they talk about the smoke detector battery situation. And Jack is like, you asked me 3 times to go get the batteries. And Becca's like, I could have gone and got them. And Jack is like, why didn't you? And she's like, ha ha ha, how can you joke at a time like this? And then Jack is like, cause I got what matters. And Becca's like, I'm gonna go make us a hotel reservation and get us something from the vending machine. And then we see Kevin in the car, and he's looking kind of spaced out. We see Mama Rebecca layering up her lasagna. We see Annie at Mr. McGiggle's funeral, and we realize it's Randall is officiating, and the Super Bowl party has turned into a funeral for the lizard. And the funeral is bringing back memories of Daddy Jack's death, and Randall is getting heavy, talking about unexpected loss and, you know, his once infected tooth, and Tess is covering her face like, oh my goodness. And Randall is like, like, first I had a dull pain. It was excruciating, but it was dull. And then sometimes I'd have sharp shooting pain. And that's what sudden losses are like. And Randall is flashing to memories of Daddy Jack. And Beth is like, okay, so knocking him out the way. It's sad that Mr. McGiggles is dead. Now, who wants to watch the Puppy Bowl pre-show? Yay! I watched a little Puppy Bowl yesterday, but I can only take about 6 minutes maybe. I got a little bit of the Puppy Bowl and a little bit of the Kitty Cat halftime show. Less of that. And then the kids are like, yay! And then Tessa gets up to leave the room and Randall notices that she's leaving. We see Toby talking to a technician, a technical type guy, and Kate's there, and Toby and Kate are sitting, and Toby is like, so he's going to probably be able to splice it back together and we can get it on the cloud. And Kate is like, I don't want it in the cloud. And Toby is like, on the cloud, or vice versa. I don't know. Whatever, Toby. And then he's like, hey, I got a camera on this phone. We can go home and make some memories. And Kate is like, I don't want any new memories. He died because of me. Because in the scariest moments of our lives, he couldn't bear to disappoint me. So if I want to feel bad once a year, just let me sit in it, okay? And then the fix-it guy is like, I fixed it. And Kate's like, yay. And it's like, we're all happy. And then Mama Rebecca, we see her on the payphone and she's talking to the people at the hotel. How many times do I have to call in on this reservation? Okay. 2 rooms, preferably on the same floor. 1 room needs a cot. Yes, indefinitely. Well, our house burned down. So, okay, thanks. Okay, bye. And then she calls Miguel, and Miguel is like, you guys heading back? How's Jack? And Becca's like, he's fine. We'll be there shortly. Can you put the kids on the phone? And then she talks to baby girl Katie, and she's like, you heard anything from Kea? No, a party in the woods. Randall is with Allison. Okay, well, keep trying to locate Kevin. We'll be back soon, all right? Love you. And then she goes to the vending machine and she's getting a candy bar. And she opens up the wrapper and then the doctor approaches her. And he's like, Mrs. Pearson, can we sit? And she's like, sure. And then she's like all lightness and casual. And he's somber. I already knew. I'm like, okay, okay. And so then he's like, she's like, oh, he's a recovering alcoholic. That's why he doesn't want to take the pain meds. Do you mind if I eat this? I am so hungry. And then the doctor is like, well, smoke puts pressure on your lungs and your heart and blah, blah, blah. Your husband went into cardiac arrest and blah, 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 blah. It was catastrophic. And Becca is like, And it's not registering. It's clear from her face. Excellent acting. And then the doctor is like, I'm afraid we lost him. And then Rebecca is like biting the candy bar and she's looking confused. And then the doctor is like, Mrs. Pearson, your husband has died. And then Rebecca is like, no. I'm sorry. We just came in for a burn. Remember? You don't remember us? And the doctor is like, can I call somebody for you? I remember you. And she's like, you don't remember talking to me? You have me confused with somebody else. He's not dead. I don't know what you're talking about. Can somebody get him away from me? Get him away from me. And she's moving in toward the hospital, toward where Jack was. And she's like, Jack, you're not going to believe. And she's heading into the room and then she stops. And we can just see an image through the mirrored door of, Jack's body laying on the bed. And she's like crying and Jack hyperventilating. And, we hear the doctor's voice, Mrs. Pearson, we're so sorry. And she's like, how she's like, I'm not, she's upset. And then we see flashes of the 3 babies in the hospital. And we see Becca getting Jack's remains and leaving the hospital. Then we see Rebecca arriving at Miguel's house. And she is looking messed up. Like she looked like something is wrong in the face. Miguel is like, you okay? Where's Jack? And Becca's like, are the kids inside? And we see Beth inside saying to Randall and his redheaded girlfriend, he's out with Sophie. They figured out where Kev is. And then Miguel is like, Rebecca, what's wrong outside? And Rebecca's like, something awful. Jack died. He had a widowmaker's heart attack at the hospital. He died. And Miguel is like, what? no. And Rebecca's like, no, 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 no. We are not going to do this, Miguel. We are not, because I have to go in there and be strong for those kids. I have to tell them something that's going to ruin the rest of their lives. And I have to be strong. And if you can't be strong for them, you need to take a walk around the block until you can be strong. They was acting their butts off. The first time I didn't cry. The second time watching it, when I actually took notes, I was like, were y'all crying? And then we see, but we don't hear Rebecca sending the redhead away and telling Kate and Randall about Daddy Jack's death. And we see Rebecca comforting the kids. We see 37-year-old Kate watching the recording of Daddy Jack, recording her. And we see Randall disposing of Mr. McGiggles. And we see 17-year-old Kev and Sophie laid out in a park-like area. I guess that's Lover's Lane. That's where they were. And then we see 37-year-old Kev by a tree by water. And he's like, hey, Dad, I haven't been here since the funeral. I usually try to avoid you today. He seemed like he tried to avoid him all the time. Ironic, because I need you. I figured I would come and say some things I never got to say to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't there that night, and that the last thing I said to you was so awful. I've had a really bad year. Actually, I've had a bad couple of decades. Nowhere close to the man you were. I think you'd be really disappointed. Oh, that's so sad. I'm not doing well. I'm going through some things that you went through, but I'm not going through them nearly as well as you. I'm just struggling. I just came to talk to you to tell you that I'm sorry and that I'm going to do better. I'm going to be a man for you. And I'm going to make you proud of me. And it might take me another couple of decades. Hey, Phone Jones. It might take me another. We're in a dramatic moment. It's so sad at the end. It might take another couple of decades to get there, but I will. I promise. Can you bear with me, please? Okay. Well, on a brighter note, I did a movie with Rocky, your favorite star, Dad. Okay. Actually, he actually brightens up. He does a good job of switching. Then we see Randall and Kate and the redhead and Mama Becca. And I have slept outside. Oh, she says, Mama Rebecca's like, I got to step outside for 2 minutes. I need 2 minutes. And she, Kate is like, then little girl Kate is like, I have to tell Kevin. He needs to hear it from me. He needs to hear it from me. He needs to hear it from me. And then, okay. So then we see 37-year-old Kate and Toby. Kate says to Toby, I like it on the cloud. And Toby is like, in the cloud. And then he's looking at Jack and he's like, he's a handsome fellow. And then Kate is like, there was a leaky window in my room and Dad would fix it again and it would break and he would fix it again and again and again. He was so patient and so steady and he never gave up on that damn window. When my dad died, though, I thought we were done. I didn't think we could come back from this. Well, then I started thinking maybe they can. And then we see teen Kate and Kevin on crutches as she's embracing. She just told him their daddy died. And then, she's like, I'm not that strong. This is back her today talking to Kevin. And, for 20 years, I thought very little of myself. And then this big old guy with this big old heart came walking into my support group. And he never gave up on me, no matter how crazy I acted. And you changed my life. You saved my life. He would have loved you. I love you. And then Toby is like, I love you too. And it's a beautiful moment. And then we see Becca 20 years going, 20 years ago going through, hey, sisters. And then we see going through the bag. This is 20 years ago, right after NYC. Oh, yeah, that's good. Because I'm like, NYC, Chalk 777. NYC. Hey, NYC. And then she's going through the bag of stuff that Jeff rescued. This is like right after Jack made his transition. And we see Becca today eating lasagna and watching the game. Then the phone rings and 37-year-old Kevin is like, hey, I was just calling to check on you. Did Dad ever send you that laugh? And Becca is like, no, No, he must have gotten busy. But I bet next year he'll send me 2. And it's sort of like, even at this age, you know, it's kind of like she doesn't want to disappoint the child. Yay, we got a like. We got 3 people in the room now and 1 like. But yay, thank you for the like. And then Kev is like, you know, he must have gotten busy. He'll send 2 next year. And then Kev is like, you know, Mom, you were really strong for us when it happened. Thank you for the light. And then Becca's like, I tried. And this is so beautiful. The language sometimes is really beautiful. I can't capture it. But she's like, I tried to wrap myself around you and protect you. But you were all already so, you know, so big. And then we see a flashback of all of them laid out together. They're probably in Miguel's, like his fold out bed or whatever. And she's like, I tried. Your dad, he never had to try. And then Kev is like, I have to try too. And Becca is like, I took a bite of the candy bar that I had just gotten when the doctor told me, you know, when he told me about your dad's death. And it haunts me to this day, that stupid candy bar. Isn't that strange? Where are you? And Kevin is like, oh, I'm at Dad's tree. I came here to talk to him. And Becca's like, how's that? And Kev is like, well, honestly, it's really good. I didn't realize I needed to talk. But can I be really honest? I'm not even sure I'm at the right tree. And then, you know, Becca laughs and laughs and laughs. And Becca's like, see? You see what I mean? This year he sent me you. Okay. And then we see Tessa in her room. And the door is knocked and Daddy Randall comes in. And he's like, you okay? You know, I'm sorry about earlier. It's a weird day for your daddy. And Tessa's like, I know. I've been and then she's like, I've been taking the landline off the hook. And she's like, only the social worker calls on that line. And Randall's like, oh, you don't want us to foster again? And Tessa's like, no, I don't mind that. You found Grandpa, and then you found Deja, and now you found a new job. It's like you want a new life. And then Randall is like, Tessa, you are my entire world. You know that, right? And she's like, whatever. You never knew my daddy Jack. He was the best dad ever. And I only wanted to be half the dad that he was. And I was so scared that I wouldn't be good enough, that I wouldn't measure up. And then when the time came, well, when you were born, my life flipped. It somersaulted. And I realized that I don't have to try. Now, see, that's this theme, this trying thing. I don't have to try because I don't even have a choice. I love this girl so much. When I saw you, I knew that I loved you so much that I had to be the best. I didn't have a choice. And you are my number 1. You hit it right on the head. This language acting story of the show, superb. You know, I'm an actress in real life. I do community theater. And then, I don't even have a choice. You're my number 1. You make my life somersault. So even if we get another foster kid, even if we get one tomorrow, and then we see Beth on Superbowl party cleanup duty, and the phone rings, and I'm like, they're about to get another foster child right now. And she's like, hello? Oh, hi. No, I was just surprised to hear from you is all. And I'm like, why is she surprised to hear from the social worker? And then there's a flash of Tessa looking the Tessa looking social worker who we know is grown up Tessa and a little boy. And then Daddy Randall says to Tessa, you will always be my number 1. And then and you will live with me until you're 25. And then when you move out, we'll have weekly dinners and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they laugh. It's a cute little moment. And then we see the little black boy sitting at a table with the white couple. And then Daddy Randall, older, comes in and he kisses social worker Tessa. And he says, hi, Tessa. The first time around, I missed him saying hi, Tessa. I'm like, this woman sure look like Tessa. And I think before the mid-season finale, I'm like, is that Tessa? So anyway, yeah, he's like, hi, Tessa. And then they watch the little boy with the couple. And then we see today's Beth. And, you know, she's like, you know, now is fine. You need us to come get you? Wait, you're here? And then Randall follows Beth to the front door, and then she opens the door, and it's Deja, who I love. I'm so happy. I was so distraught when she left because I'm like, I want the whole family to embrace her and her whole family because they all need support, you know? When Randall had that talk NYC with Tess, the tears just fell. I want my own Randall. I know he is so sweet and goofy and I love him. He's just so himself. But you know what I was thinking, this is probably not relevant to people. I'm like, they're black, but they're not really very African centered, whatever. Okay, let me go on. And then we see, Daddy, oh, wait. Okay, so then, today, it's Deja. Yay, we're happy about Deja. I mean, I don't know what her mama done did and what is going on with her mama. We know her mama needs support. She needs a community around her to support her. And then we see a montage of the teen triplets and Becca sleeping together. We see 37-year-old Kev and Mama Becca enjoying the Super Bowl. Then we see Toby. Hi, we got 4 people in the chat and on my records and 2 likes. I was watching somebody else's chat and my numbers were totally off. I'm like, it's 20 people in the room and only 3 hey, vivacious feet and only 3 likes. You know, I was trying to help the other person out and people are like, no, it's so-and-so and so-and-so. And I'm like, I don't know what's up with my system. But then we see, you know, Toby and 37-year-old Kate dancing. We see grown Tessa and elder Randall with the boy in the family. And Daddy Randall is smiling as he's watching baby Tessa work. And then we see 10-year-old, I think she about 10 now, you know, peeking at her parents and Deja. They downstairs, she upstairs at the top of the stairs through the steps. And then we see Tessa smiling. And we see Becca with the kids sleep. But the kids are sleeping. She's awake, you know, like looking at the sky like, my husband just died. We were just in a fire. And I thought he was going to live. And he's just dead. We talking about This Is Us. It's a hey, you just came in because we was live. But that's it. I'm finished with the recap. So for those of you who are watching it on replay, it's finished. But hey, if anybody want to chat about anything else, I got a couple minutes. I got some running to do. But I just finished my recap. So that was This Is Us. Yesterday's episode that came on right after the Super Bowl. Normally it comes on Tuesday. It didn't come on last Tuesday. Was that State of the Union? But it came on after the Super Bowl, and it will be back, I think, this Tuesday with This Is Us. We didn't do, of course, Seeking Sister. Oh, I don't review Seeking Sister Wife, but I wanted to watch it. And we didn't do Real Housewives of Atlanta, but that'll be coming next week. They didn't come on because of the Super Bowl. Did y'all watch the Super Bowl? Were y'all excited? I didn't watch. I told y'all I watched 2 minutes of the Puppy Bowl. But that's it. Today is the best day ever. Like, comment, subscribe, share. It don't cost nothing to come in and get the content. But I'm happy to get payment and likes, payment and comments, payment and subscriptions. I told you at the beginning, we're working on 1,000. We're working on 1,000. I think the African-American connection is because of Randall's upbringing. That's why. Yeah. I mean, he went to, we're not sure, but it seems like he went to Howard. He married a black woman. You know, he has a certain kind of consciousness of himself as a black man. But like, you know, it's like right at the end of the piece, they focused on a piece of artwork. And now his children almost look Ethiopian to me, especially that Tessa. But the piece of artwork kind of looked Haitian to me. It was very abstract, so it didn't quite. But, you know, it kind of made me think, do we see any like African-centered art around, you know, but you know, everybody has their taste or what their consciousness. But I love that character Randall, but I like all of the characters, and the show is so well written and so well acted, and it's a phenomenal show. So I don't know, for somebody who just popped in who does not watch This Is Us, hey phone boo, y'all are so cute. Hopefully, as we get more into the story, what you mean as we get more into the story? As we, you mean we as in colored folks? I've never watched the show. It sounds good. It's excellent. It's, and the very first time I watched the very first episode, I was kind of like, I don't even know how I watched it. I probably fell into it after something accidentally, and I just got drawn into it. And the whole first season I watched, I was like, you know, watching like I got my good eye on you, because I know y'all about to jack up something and offend me as an African-American woman. I know I'm about to be upset. It's second season now. But like, I just feel like, you know, the writing is, I haven't been like overly offended, you know, and like, it's really nice to see. We see Randall's growth. We see everybody's growth. It's really nice to see that black man with his black family that was with, you know, just the human relationships of the people. But, you know, I feel like I haven't been offended as a black person. And, you know, a lot of times, I don't know, I'll be like ready. Like, I'm ready to be like upset. Like, I'm not watching, but it's excellent. It's an excellent show. Yes, it's excellent phone. So yeah, they had a mid-season break about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we're like around episode 12 or 13. So of season 2. So I don't know if you can get it on demand or, you know, but if you haven't watched it, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. And that's it. That's all I got. That's it. So I'm a head out. Thank you so much again for being here with me. It makes it a little less, I don't know, a little less, you know, isolated. Yeah, it's funny. It's like a minute ago when I first started doing YouTube reviews, it seemed like it was only like Underground or like 1 or 2 shows to watch. And now it seems like it's so many shows to watch. It's emotional. I can't do it because I hate getting emotional. It is emotional. Most episodes, like the first time I watched it, this time I didn't cry, but the second time I did. But I'm glad you caught me too. But it's so much goodish content on TV. So, you know, and it's only so many hours in the day, but that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, be you, be fabulous, you. Be you, be fabulous, you. Be you. I click it off. Be fabulous, you. I click it off. Bye. Thank you. Be you, be fabulous, you. Bass, nah, he gets me hyped. Now I can't do anything slavery based. He gets me hyped. Oh, gets me too hyped. Oh yeah. I wasn't expecting to like talk to you later. Bye. I wasn't expecting to like Underground, but I loved it. Okay, bye.